We've got this sort of walkway from either side of the boat. Now a lot of brands don't have that, so when your tender's on the back of the boat you've got to sort of scuttle over the tender or walk to either side. With the Fairline, even with the tender in place, either side of the platform with no problem at all. So one of the nice little design features that we've got. We'll pop the platform back up and we'll step on board the boat. Again, another quick side profile, show you what it's all about. One thing to notice on the back of the boat, you can either gain access to the cockpit from either port or starboard. As we walk up on the starboard side here, sorry, port side, what you have got is this beautiful staircase. We haven't just got a sort of big plastic box with stairs and a bit of teak on it. We've actually made a feature out of the staircase. Firstly, looks stunning, but secondly, gives you a lot more storage room and a lot more internal headroom as you actually go into the main saloon of the boat. So a real nice feature staircase, lots of oversized stainless and actual lighting inside the teak steps. Really, really nice feature on the boat. Just pan around the cockpit. Beautiful stainless steel patio door entry. And then as we wander around, nice double 3-person bench seat on the back. Now there is the option to have a teak fold out sort of table with director style chairs. That would all live, again, part of the reason for this open staircase, that would all live behind the staircase, so no taking up any further storage space in the boat. Thanks Mike, so do we. Just wandering back round, spin the camera so you get a better idea. This seat is actually your storage. Sorry, apparently can't do that. This seat is actually storage under there as well. So lots of room for all your fenders. There's actually a dedicated Fender Rack built in. Let's open that up, take a step back. So built-in Fender Rack. Below that, plenty of room for life rafts, toys, sups. If you had gas on your boat, that's your gas locker. A lot of room in the back there. Of course there is, again, with the staircase, further room to mount your life raft under here, either in a valise or in a canister, one of the two. Some customers even put life rafts topsides by the Flybridge with hydrostatic releases on them. Let's close down that lid again. Couple of clever things we've got. Cleats, there's loads of cleats on the Fairline boats, but one of the nice options that we've got here in the cockpit, you've got your stand cleat, and then we've got this little cleat locker here. So you can leave your stand lines permanently attached onto your cleats, and they'll live away in the lockers either side, so you haven't got to store those. Little gap in the corner here, and that lets your rope run through. As I say, this boat hasn't got passerelle fitted, but if it did, the passerelle would live where this is a locker. So no passerelle, another little locker space in the boat. This particular boat has got the IPS 650s fitted, which are the new Volvo engines, the D6 variants. Twin 480 horsepower, so she's 960 overall, top speed of around about 32 knots. Let's open up the engine hatch and see what you think. So one thing we'll notice is that the engine access is fantastic on this boat. You can see the base of the other ladder there. Now that ladder itself is another engine access point, and I'll show you that in a moment before we go inside. With the IPS, you've got a lot of room between the actual IPS unit and the engine itself using a jack shaft, but what it also does, it gives you huge storage space in here. So just panning round, big Cummins Oman 11 kVA generator, Fuel filters where you want them, nice and easy, lots and lots of room. We'll just come around the other way. Again, you can get all the way around either side of both of these engines. So over this side of the engine room, we've got your clarifier tank, and then just ahead of that, all your batteries live in that one box, which again, you can fit storage above. And over in the corner here is your hydraulic pump for your H&B platform. It's a fantastic engine room, lots and lots of room, lots of space. You can get down there, it's an engineer's dream. From an owner's point of view, as I say, there is a secondary door, and what we'll do is we'll just pop out back onto the platform again, and we'll show you that, because that makes life a little bit more easier as you're walking around the boat. So back out onto the transom. Transom doors either side, which are nice. And then this is your second engine entry point. The ladder that's on this one actually lifts and lifts over onto the other entry. So you've got one ladder that does two jobs. And then that's looking straight down onto your big Jenny. And then above that is your main breaker panel. So from an owner's point of view, everything's really, really nice and easy to get at. I'll just wander back around the other side. So as we enter up this side of the transom, you've got your transom shower here. So hot and cold transom shower. And then your platform controls. Obviously I use the remote control, but you have got manual static fitted controls here. You've got a Fusion stereo control here. Each area on the boat has its individual Fusion head unit. So there's one here for the saloon, there's one up on top on the Flybridge, one on the main saloon, and then one in each of the cabins. So you don't have to have the one track all the way through the boat. You can use variants as you go through. Everyone with their own music taste is quite happy. So through this beautiful stainless door, and this is our cockpit. Gerard, we're in Swanwick in the UK. The boat's in Swanwick. Swanwick is Southampton, thanks Michael. So just wandering round. Got this beautiful bar on the boat, all backlit. On this particular one as a dealership, we've spec'd the high gloss walnut, which is a winner we think. We've also gone for this new 2020 coloured leather. It's called Sealy, and it's got the chocolate edging on it. And we have gone for the Dove grey flooring, so very contemporary. There's actually 4 different colours of floor. There's a sort of traditional lime washed oak, and then there's this one, the Dove grey. There's a cashmere oak, which is a bit more grey, and then there's also the chocolate option. Again with the leather. This is Sealy, so this is probably the lighter, and then we go to what they call essential, but it's actually more like a sort of cappuccino colour. Then you can have a taupe colour or a dark chocolate. The chocolate's actually the same as the helm seats. Not the most popular because it tends to get quite warm. So moving back round to this beautiful sideboard. Again, attention to detail. You've got leather panels, you've got stainless steel, you've got backlit glass, all the Fairline crystal tumblers in here, pop to open, and then plenty of room for the essentials at the bottom there. On the back end cupboard, on this boat it's storage, but you can have the optional fridge, so that you have a fridge for up here in the sort of saloon area. You've also got a wet bar fridge up on the Flybridge, but we'll get to that when we come round. And then you've got further storage on this end. One thing that we have got fitted on this boat as well is on the sideboard here, the TV. Sorry, it's such a bright day here in Southampton, which is unusual, that I'm struggling to see my screen. So please let me know if I'm not getting anything as you would want to it. So that's the 40-inch TV fitted into the sideboard. Again, lots and lots of light through the boat. Big side windows. I've left the blinds closed again, otherwise it just would be a bit too bright in here. But all the blinds are as standard on the boat. Coming forward till you get to the quarter window, and then as standard you've got screen covers that fit on the exterior. So you get screen covers for the quarter window, and then a screen cover for this new for 2020 single one-piece windshield. So engineering at Fairline have been busy at work getting us a huge one-piece window, which is what you, the customers, wanted. Little side opening windows up by the helm, get you a bit of air through. Just before we go further, underneath this helm seat, we've got further storage. So, bit of locker space in this one. That's your seat covers and your Garmin and Volvo covers. And then we've got a couple of shelves in here with your Fusion head unit for the upper saloon. There's so many power points on the boat. All the way around the boat there's lots and lots of power points. And one other clever point on the boat is the air conditioning units. Each area has its own air conditioning unit. 11 kVA generator will run them all together. But if you were just wanting your Jenny running a particular zone for your aircon, you can do that. Yeah, TV wise, if I just take a step back, and just step back outside the saloon, you could go bigger with a TV if you wanted to. There's plenty of room. I mean, that's a 40-inch screen. You could easily go for a 55 there, no problem at all. And then we've got the surround sound, so the cinematic sound on this boat as well. So you've got your speakers through the boat. So let's take you up to the helm. So a really nicely laid out helm, pretty much as all the Fairline models are, to be fair. Again, IPS controlled. So your IPS unit just to the side of the steering here, and then you've got your big Garmin 12-inch display, your engine start stops, your engine controls. The steering wheel is tilt adjustable, so it can be moved to suit. And then just ahead of the wheel we've got the Volvo Multifunction Display. You have still got analog gauges running across the boat. So the Volvo unit here is actually manufactured by Garmin, and it's interfaced with the main Garmin screen. So if you're on a long cruise, a lot of customers like to set this screen up watching your radar, so that you've still got your Garmin as your plotter. You don't have to split your plotter, because you can use the Volvo screen here as your radar whilst keeping an eye on your analog gauges themselves. It's really, really universal, that you can do an awful lot with it. Just going through the various functions on it, it's after a day of training, day of handover, you're an absolute doddle with it. It's a brilliant piece of kit, and it really does make boat ownership so much easier. You can actually supply a Volvo app onto your smartphone, so that this unit is then talking to your phone, so that when you're away from your boat you can log onto your app. You know what your battery voltages are doing and that sort of things. Really, really clever bit of kit. Just below the wheel then, we've got the bow thruster. Now, Volvo usually say you don't need a bow thruster when you've got IPS, and to be fair, 9 times out of 10 you don't. But your bow thrusters like you get out of jail. It's there on that really, really windy day where your nose just gets left behind a wee bit. It just makes it that little bit easy. I think Nick, Andy, I think Nick from Aquaholics has already actually been on the boat, and we're waiting for his test to be published. And I'm hoping I'm not going to try and take his job by doing this, because I think he's still a lot better than me. So what we'll do is we'll wander down from the upper saloon down into the sort of galley lower saloon. The Squadron 50, really versatile boat. One thing that's just worth saying before I go down there, speaking of versatility, this wet bar area here can be replaced and you can have galley up. So basically with a galley up version of this boat, your galley worktop is a wee bit wider than the sideboard. So it probably comes out to roughly here. Still giving you a nice big walkway, an easy walkway through. It then has a 90-degree return at the end, so it's an L-shaped galley top. Now you lose the TV from the headboard here, but then the TV would come out from the unit here, would come up, pop up behind the seats, and then it would hinge out. So it hinges out so that you still can see it from your big U-shaped seating area. You're not going to lose it with a light getting to it. It will actually hinge round. And it's not just one setting, it's on a little motor, so you can play with it until you're out of the sort of light strain, so that you can actually see what's happening on your screen. Alan, cruising range, I would say around about 180 miles. It's 1308 litre fuel tank capacity on this boat, and just shy of 400 litre water capacity. So the boat's built with cruising in mind. That's why it's got so much storage on the boat. Thank you, Andy. I am trying. First time I've ever used Facebook, to be fair, so we're all learning something today. Okay, wander downstairs. So as I say, there's various option layouts on the Squaddy 50. This one we have gone for a 3-cabin layout. And we've gone for the 3-cabin layout on the Squadron because you've got this big upper saloon and you have got so much external seating up onto the Flybridge, which we'll get up to in a little while. But wandering down the stairs, nice easy stairs, nice good grab rail, lots and lots of light. In fact, maybe today too much light. What I'll do is I'll just spin around so we can see the staircase, because the light was right in our eyes as we came down. So really nice open staircase, that big handrail going up the side there. It's all soft touch, so it's grippy, it's not slippy, and you can get round it. As I say, bulkhead here, because this is the 3-cabin layout, so that's the bunked cabin, and we'll get to that in a moment. And then what I'll do is I'll try and stay out the sun, but I'll just spin round to the galley. So a nice big usable galley. Corian work surface. There's actually 7 different non-cost options for colouring on the Corian. We'll start at the business end here. So you've got the twin burner hob, and then just below there you've got the combination oven. Alexander, the 60 is actually the 58 with a beach club. It was going to be launched at Cannes show. Obviously what's happening in the world at the moment maybe put that a little behind, so I'm sure the marketing team from Fairline will let us know, but possibly looking at a Düsseldorf 21 delivery. Sorry, it was the 58 Targa was going to launch at Düsseldorf, and then later would have been the Squadron version. So back to galley. Middle drawer here, nice big deep drawer, and then you've got a pull out on the top with a really nice cutlery, everything in its place. Too shiny to use really. Really nice finish, well put together. All this is made in-house by Fairline, so just shows you the quality. Below the drawer here we've got another nice big deep drawer. New boat, so it's full of all the bits and pieces ready for handover. That said, it is available. Contact us for details. And then to the side here, we'll just lift up. Big usable sink, Lots of space in the sink, chopping board on the underside of the Corian. And then in the locker space here, we've got your bin. So plenty of storage on this boat. One real big sales feature on the 50s, be it the Targa or the Squadron as we're on now, is this big American fridge freezer. So huge big fridge, lots and lots of space, and then as per American fridge freezer, you've got above it your freezer compartment. Again, you can have the fridge up in the saloon, and you've got your fridge and ice maker up on the Flybridge, which we'll get to. Another big selling point on this boat, again from a storage from a galley point of view, particularly if you want to do some long distance cruising, opening the door here, your big sort of larder available. So 4 decent shelves, lots and lots of storage space. And just while we're talking about storage, as we come down the stairs here, nice little 5-rack wine holder. Again, keep talking about storage because there is so much, and there is, to be fair, on pretty much all the Fairline range of boats. The main galley floor, easily lift up storage locker, the bar in the middle to support the 2 lifting doors. So lots and lots of room for all your sort of bottled water, cans, that sort of stuff, all the sort of heavy stuff that you don't want jiggling around as you're underway. Now what's important to say is that whole locker liner lifts out and gives you access down to your water tank, your black water tank, your seacocks, and also your sump pump from your forward shower. So lots and lots of room around the boat, lots of storage. Everything's a doddle on these when we're handing them over, because we're dealer not factory. When we're handing them over, all the systems are actually just so easy and user friendly. Now, one thing that we probably have noticed just above the galley top is the main battery isolator. We call this the mimic panel. So you've got on here your battery isolator switches, your port, your domestic, your starboard, and then primary, which operates all your electronics, your passeral, your platform, the main domestic, and then your water pump. Just moving back across, you also start-stop your generator from here. Obviously you can start and stop your generator on the Jenny itself, but you can start-stop your Jenny. Hit the button in the middle to disable power, and then when you're going for domestic, as we're on now, press domestic. If you were on generator power, you'd press the middle one for generator. And then that's your main breaker for your aircon to turn all your aircon on. There's 2 shore power inlets on the boat. Normally we're okay with just the one, but if you're in a marina that hasn't got a lot of ampage, there is a second shore power cable that is dedicated just for your air conditioning system, so you're not going to sort of run it out or keep tripping through the night. So what we'll do is we'll have a wander down through into the owner's cabin. So a couple of steps down into the owner's cabin. As you see on the back wall, a new sort of headboard for 2020. This beautiful sort of big mosaic arrangement here. Robin and the guys in design have done a beautiful job of the interior of this boat. It really does work well. Really contemporary, really model, but simple. It's not going to date in a few years. This boat's here for a long time and looking good. It's a big king-size bed. Storage underneath the bed. Because this boat is an IPS powered boat, we haven't got fuel tanks under our beds. Because the engines can go further back in the engine room. The fuel tanks are upright in front of the engines behind the bulkhead of the owner's cabin, which means we've actually got lots and lots of storage under the bed. So wander around this side. So this is your standard finish on the boat. So cabinetry. Again, leather inlay, stainless steel on the top, and then the high gloss. Nice big deep drawers, plenty of storage room all the way through the boat. Just panning round, on this, our stock boat, we opted for this additional sofa bed. As I say, if it was standard, you'd have cabinetry either side, which some people like. But we've gone for the sofa bed on this. If anything, it's somewhere to put your socks on. But it does work well, and if you've got guests on board and you just want to come and retire to your owner's cabin, it gives you a nice comfortable place to sit. What you'll notice is the big windows, lots and lots of light in this boat, huge big light. You've got round portholes either side which have mosquito nets with them to stop any nasties coming in, and then you've got the standard blinds either side. And again, just looking around the other side, because we're walking forward, we've got a split, but again, more lighting there. So lots and lots of space. Again, from a storage point of view, we'll just close the cabin door. Hello, big mirror on the back of the door. Something for everyone. And then a big hanging locker, huge, big, deep lit hanging locker. Plenty of room. We can actually fit a second rail in there, so if you want a double hanging space, you can do. Standard Fairline towels, waiting for the new owner. Lots and lots of space in there. We'll pop round. Into the head. So, ensuite owner's head. Come through. So we've got the countertop sink. Going to close the door, so the sound's got to go a little bit muffled. And then above the head, something that we've always done with Fairline is put this sort of shelf, if you like. Now that just increases your worktop space. Gives you a bit more room to play down here. And then opens up on the hinge with your loo. So it's a Dometic self-macerating toilet, nice and easy into your holding tank. We've also got below your sink decent amount of storage, and then above 3 nice big deep lockers all the way along. As we spin around, we've got our full-size shower. And what you'll notice on the shower is there's a step down into it. So you don't get the splashing over your ensuite floor. You'll see, if I just close the door sits back from the floor, so any water running off the door runs down into the shower sump. And what we'll do, I'm 6'2", I'm stood in the shower, so I've got head height above me, room for my beam in the shower, so a nice big usable shower. Something we've always had on the boat, so almost nice and big enough to get your way around. So on the back, out of your ensuite, back into your owner's cabin. Again, separate fusion unit down here at the side of the bed. All your light switches at the side of the bed. Popping around, we've got TV. So TV up on the wall directly in front of the bed with your Dometic aircon control for here in the owner's cabin. One clever thing that we have been doing on all the boats that have got TVs fitted is HDMI sockets. So the HDMI that's here beside the bed is connected into the back of the TV. So it doesn't mean you've got to sort of try and get behind your TV if you want to plug anything in. USBs are connected to the TV as well. So if you want to put sort of fire sticks in or anything like that, or movies that are on a stick, you can do without having it sort of juggle your way behind the telly. So let's just wander back up through. Sorry, checking myself out there as I went through the door. So back through the lower saloon into your guest cabin. Now, standard berth in the front here is the island berth. We've gone for the scissors, just simply because we feel that the scissors gives you a lot more cabin space. Also, of course, if you've got kids on board, it's giving you a berth each rather than sharing a double. What I'll do is I'll just quickly pull the scissors together so you get an idea of what the scissor berths converted all is like. Step back, So you've got a nice big double again that locks in position. So if you're using it as a double overnight, it's locked. Nobody's going to disappear between the two in the evening. Again, just wandering around the forward cabin. You've got your hanging locker, again just to indicate the head height, plenty of room for me and the head, and this is in the forward cabin. And then behind this door, another hanging locker, again lit hanging locker. A few little shelves in there as well. And then either side of the boat, above the berths, in here, your fusion units housed, but you have got storage 3 either side. Again, we've got the TV at the bed head with the controls for your aircon. So door through into your day stroke ensuite. Again, similar layout to what the owner's cabin. In fact, pretty much identical to owner's cabin, a little bit smaller, as you'd expect. But countertop sink with storage under, and then your loo again under the shelf, and again further storage space up top. And spinning round, you've got the shower again, full height shower, full beam shower. As I say, this is a 3 cabin layout, so we're just Jack and Jill at the forward door, and this is us coming into the 3rd cabin. So it's a bunked cabin, plenty of head height above each of the bunks. So not a claustrophobic berth, plenty of space in there. And again, storage. You've got this, again, lit hanging locker space. And then if I just wander out of the cabin door, and that's us back into the saloon. So what we'll do is we'll walk upstairs. We'll say unusually sunny here in the UK today, but let's us illustrate the boat with all the covers off. At least it's not a rainy day. Again, this saloon area is just beautiful. One thing that you'll notice is that, let's come back downstairs again actually and show you. One thing you'll notice that we do on the boat, which gives us a bit more sort of attention to detail and quality. If I come in close, I don't know if you can see, but we grain match our woodwork through the boat. We're not using random grain patterns, it's grain matched. And we're one of the few manufacturers to still offer the high gloss option. Other brands are saying high gloss is old hat, it's old fashioned. It's not, it's just difficult to manufacture and produce, especially when you're trying to grain match it. Again, up in the sunlight there, showing you a bit of the grain match. Now these panels, each of these panels, large, small, curved, straight, flat edged, are an 8-day build process, again because they're done by hand. So it's 8 days with 9 coats of lacquer. So 3 coats, flat back, respray, rebake, 3 coats, flat back, respray, rebake, another 3 coats, flat it back, and then you've got your finished article. So each panel, dependent on size, is still 8 days in build. So our boats take a little bit longer to come out of the shed finished, but they are of a noticeably higher quality. And if you look, we are really heavy on our wood. We've got wood all the way through the boat. We've not just got sort of MDF panels that are covered in fabric. We're using wood all the way through the boat, and that's what we feel sort of sets us apart a bit with Fairline and gives us that edge. We don't build as many, but we build the better quality. And again, I'm not factory, I'm dealer. That's not just us saying it. You listen to the press are saying that as well. We have got the build quality, we have got the edge. We're never going to build as many boats as perhaps the competition, but we are feeling that we're building a higher quality boat.